In this video, we're going to talk about common interview questions. Now, no two companies are going to interview the exact same way. You're going to get different questions from different people, and that's okay. The idea is that we're going to build a foundation of answers to generic questions so you can be better suited to adapt to the different scenarios that come up. So I'm going to go through 5 example questions. I'm either going to talk about how to think about those questions or give an example of a possible response. What I suggest is that after I say the question, pause the video, think about your response, and then continue playing. Then you're going to have an example or a comparison to your answer to work with. So the first question is, tell me about yourself. Now this is one of the more popular questions used by interviewers because it can provide a lot of insight just by the way that you answer the question. Now, keep in mind, this question can be personal or it can be about your career. It's open-ended for a reason. The idea is that the interviewer is trying to connect with you and understand you a little bit more as they continue to move forward in the interview. So when you're thinking of your response, it can help to think of what components you want to be part of your answer. One can be, where do you call home? What's a favorite place you like to visit? 2, what hobbies or community activities do you get involved with? And 3, what motivates you? It can be travel, opportunity, or even owning a home. It doesn't really matter. Your response is very much going to be dictated by you and what drives you and what's of interest. But it's important to note that you are under no obligation to reveal deeply personal information. This can be very high-level, generic information about you that is just there to help your interview relate to you and be a little bit more comfortable as you guys move forward. So the second question, describe 3 strengths. Now what's important about these 3 adjectives that you choose is that they need to relate to the job itself and how you're well suited for it. Make sure you read the job description and pick and choose language from it, or spin whatever language you use based off of what you read there. They put that job description out for a reason. Now the third question, describe 3 weaknesses. Now this one is a question that many interviewees struggle with because it's admitting that you're not perfect. And that's why this question is so important during an interview. They want to see a bit of vulnerability. So 3 examples of what could be weaknesses could be that you are not very good at delegation, or you're a very harsh self-critic, or you're not one to self-advocate for yourself. All these things are great answers. There are also many, many other answers. But what's important is that whatever weaknesses you choose, yes, it's important to be vulnerable, it's important to be honest, but don't use weaknesses that directly contradict the role that you're applying for. You still want to say that you are qualified for this role, but this is just a human aspect of me that I'm continuing to improve on. So the fourth question, describe a difficult work situation and how did you resolve it? Now what's important about how you explain this story is that as weird as it might be, everybody wants to be humble in an interview, this is your chance to brag. This is your chance to make yourself the hero of the story, and don't shy away from that. This is where you can show leadership skills, you can show the long-term value you can bring to a company beyond just the role that you're applying for in that moment. And when you move forward with this, just make sure you're helping them understand the roles involved, what the issue was, just summarized in a sentence or 2, and how you stepped in and resolved it. Now, this should not be a gossip session by any means. This is just simply, what was the situation, what steps did you have to take, and how did it end? And for question number 5, how do you handle failure, stress, or high-pressure situations? Now, this question can definitely feel very uncomfortable, admitting to past failures, but this is pretty awesome to be able to talk about in this way, saying that you failed elsewhere, and you're going to be able to bring the solution to this new company. And often you want this to be framed around some type of trigger, some type of situation, but also how you found a way to improve it so you would handle it better the next time around. Because as we know, many situations reoccur no matter where you work. So one way that you can go about answering this question is also tying in what you hope for the company as well. And so it can sound something like this. So over the years, I've learned that poor communication can lead to missed deadlines, last minute projects, information not being presented in the right way. And sometimes I've had to burn the midnight oil trying to get projects done for my manager in order to make sure everybody's happy at the end of the day. And so for my next opportunity, for my next company, I'm really looking for a manager who communicates well with me, and that I also can in turn talk with my manager about what I need to make sure I can meet expectations and present quality work. All right, so that wraps up this video for these common interview questions. If you'd like more information or more responses to other interview questions, just head to careerendeavors.org. Link is below in the description. And if you enjoyed the content today, go ahead and like below or subscribe. That way you stay up to date on new content as it comes out. Thanks for tuning in.